And welcome back to Pink Noise, ladies and gentlemen. It's once more your man Bob Knob, Doc Wildcard. Welcome you back. In the previous chapter, it already was getting eerier, and I love it for that. And this is this where God, the horror officially starts here in this chapter. I, I think I'm not sure how long I'll be recording for, but yeah, I remember when my good friend Molly Girl got came here. Did the demo for this, that's when this started. But that tape, that VHS tape they were given, that's where the horror really starts. Yeah, so they're in the shed now. I forget whose shed, what her name is. I think it was Eva's. But yeah, there's plenty of space for board games and fold around. They can be as loud as they like, and Ashley can always bring this. Yeah, Ashley is my man. Her father originally planned to turn the place into a man cave. Nice. Complete with a couch and a big TV, but he's been overwhelmed with work lately, so most of the time the friends are free to use the shed. But that day they aren't alone. Chris, Ashley's older brother, is already inside, laying on a shabby carpet and playing a new console. Only as the answer is Ashley remembers Chris's grand for coming home. Oh, jeez, yeah, I remember that, yeah. He is allowed to see his friends for a month, but some of his buddies wants to lend him the gaming console, so won't be too bored at home alone. As the front door squeaks open, he swiftly finds a pack of cigarettes. I hate cigarettes. Fools, just you suckers. I thought Daddy showed up was about to teach me how to live again. What you doing up here? Baby Ashley is starting to show you your true family treasures. Says Phil, dated furniture, living out his last days, non-used equipment, covered in dust, plus other miscellaneous items the family too lazy to get rid of. Ashley's family is rich enough they don't need to sell their old junk, so a lot's been stuffed into the shed. That's also how there's a punching bag there, and it looks like it's been used a lot. Yeah, huh? Here we go, yeah. Chris's bad punching bag. Someone must have thrown Chris's and darts at it. Cool. Well, not Chris. He's not cool because he smokes, but yeah. The fun scarecrow from the band's field. Ashley asked Chris to steal it if the band's youngest daughter lost her doll. It's hard to believe that he was swore the scarecrow moved on its own. An antique mirror. Little Ashley loved looking at it and imagined she was a Disney princess. Even would barely even glance in the mirror. She was 110% convinced that Bloody Mary would come out if she wasn't careful. That reminds me of in the Dead by Daylight Thieves and Hooked on You. You can order a Bloody Mary at this one part, and they try to summon that that figure of Bloody Mary. It doesn't work though. But it's still an awesome game, and one that also supports the Wounded Warrior Project on Humble Bundle. I'll put the links both in the description. The old motorcycle. No, call it a bike. Call it a bike, because that's what it is. About 3 years ago, before Ashley and Brian started dating, Brian saddled up and drove into the creek. Ashley burst into laughter and, oh damn, I can imagine. Brian was banned from visiting Ashley's house. Seems the ban hasn't been lifted. Oh, don't tell me this game is freezing up again on me. Yeah, sorry about that, break. The game was freezing up on me inexplicably. Archaic Atari Pong console. Ashley's father played as a teenager, but the only controller broke long ago instead of the controller itself. The console itself. Ick. I do so hate cigarettes. No, there's nothing thrilling about it. It's sickening at best, and in both ways sickening. Yeah. There's nothing that's going to impress anyone with that. Yeah. Ick. Don't you have to stay in your own family, Morris? And what about you? Since you catch a disease, not wandering around the dark, we want to see who can disappoint our parents the most. Ick. Yeah, indeed, that is a disappointment. No, unlike you, I care about my future. We just want to watch a cassette. Why don't you go do something else for a bit? We need TV. As if, get out here, kids. Since the TV keeps playing. Interesting. Hmm. There it is. Truth teller, you told Chris the truth, achievement unlocked. Don't be so pighead. Will only take like 5 minutes. But that doesn't make sense because use deceive option. Maybe the game is busted or something. Maybe it still needs to have a few more patches made, but still digging it. Except for the cigarettes. Just adores Ashley instead. He continues moving the bizarrely bright pixels across the screen. Even knows neither force nor tricky will work on Chris. In that way, he and Ashley are alike. The harder you push, the harder they push back. Bruce says, oh, okay, I see. I guess. Maybe this is the thing like that. We have a secret, he said. The arcade cashier gave it to us. No one knows what's on the tape, but I'm willing to bet it's just silly cartoons. If he's the only person that doesn't irritate him, he still can't understand why a good girl hangs out with Ashley and all his super friends. Is your outcast then? So, yeah. When I reach the filter, you stop wasting my precious time piss off out of here. Yeah, and one more thing. It's a movie for adults. I'll take it. His voice is practically poisonous. Oh yeah? To throw it away and preserve our innocence, huh? Of course not. To give to Sam and Bobby. Sam and Bobby are real bastards. Not sure if that can be said and still be monetized in the future. Rumors of their wicked deeds are always flying around town. Ashley knows Chris is afraid of them, but he's still doing anything to get into their gang. He's constantly smoozing them with free drinks. Chris says to Michael, move your ass 4 hours, turn the tape cassette on. Levy wants to use the VHS player by himself. His friends don't know that. His grandparents still think electronics are worth their attention. They never waste them here. It saves us the silly things. Now for the interesting part. Curved, dusty screen produces a snowstorm white noise. Speakers transmit a hoarse whistle like a mutilated parody of wind gusts. Eva's worried. Friends might turn off the player at any point and head home. That she realized Christmas was on tape. She doesn't want to watch it alone. With all his might, Christian's already acted bored. To him, the fact that these kids have been scammed is clear as day. He'd probably buy a rotten pumpkin if he talked on Wednesdays. Got blank tape. No surprise there. Sam would catch that cashier and give him proper talking to. Ashley gives Chris the side eye. He used to be different. He played sports. Yeah, that's more like it. He never spoke. Yeah, exactly. You shouldn't do that. I felt complete idiots who only called even moronic idiots like Peter. It can't be blank. Hurry up and take your seats. You'll miss anything. Evil settles down with the post next to Chris. The other set on the post stare at the screen. TV only emits a static blizzard and a horrible howling. Wind sweeps out of the fields and descends on the suburbs, sneaking through the streets like a wild animal prowling for prey. Shoves instead make it sway and creak like a popping joint. The bowling flickers, catching shadows of the piles of garbage in the corner. Is there any other light in here? Next time we'll have this chandelier just for you. Chris once said something else, but the picture on the screen finally takes shape. Viking Grace Dax tries morph into an image, taking on its color and shape. One part becomes studio walls. Another changes to decorated a set or Friday night show. Rest turn the body of game show host wears striped suit jacket. Very fun. Fire that god awful costume designer. I dig the costume. It kind of reminds me of Beetlejuice. I wonder if that was intended. The horse is half turned and staring at the cameras, waiting for the director's signal to start to try to see the audience on the other side of the screen. They should kick you. Is it what? I thought it sounded cool. A little off key, maybe, but as if the instruments weren't tuned, but still, it was jazzy. She kicked the musicians out of there too. Why is this their first time playing instruments? She nervously fills with a pendant. Soft sound clearly caught her off guard. Welcome to the show, everybody. Welcome, my sweet and miserable guest, to the most unique, funniest. Angle abruptly changes in the studio, looks suddenly less bright and cheerful. Walls have lost their false colors and bright hues. Half the spotlights go out and the orange is dim. But those keep smiling. To the most unique, funniest, and scariest show on TV. Oh, I'll bet my head that this is always something you've never seen before and never see again. Sadly, I've got nothing left to bet. I hit my head before the show. Teenagers certainly believe the host did devour his hand before the show. His behavior is odd. His speech is too dramatic. His break into screams, the choking on his cackling. Some handmaids must act both insanely cheerful and inappropriately gloomy at the same time, all depending on the angle the producer chooses. Oh, what a waste of time! No, wait, let's just a little bit longer. I've heard of this show. How about we give it a chance? The host, as if waiting for their verdict, steps back from the camera and holds out his hands in an inviting gesture. So come on, take a seat, the broken and prideful. Sound changes. The reserved and those embracing everything new. The brave, cowardly, dependent, and free. Get comfortable, enjoy. Scream ripples. His voice twitches and deepens, sounds muffled, and imminent. Himself filled with soil. See, am I supposed to yourselves? Pixels themselves into a black and white mass. A terrible crack bursts out of the speakers. The end. That's enough for today. I'll fast forward a little. What if there's something else here? Jumps up from Phil. Chris stops her. Slow down, Fury. The button's jammed. I'll do it. Chris gets up and goes to the VHS player, but freezes halfway there. Faint knocking sound cuts through the stack. Someone scratching and jumping their fingers against the other side of the screen. Chris turns around and opens his mouth to stare something directly into the star's healer. How's he doing it? Doing what? Staplers is still raised on the screen. He even runs to the TV and stares deep into the black and white chaos. Cool. Yeah, this would be mighty interesting to see where this goes. Back to the drawing board. Is it like sucking up the loop or something? Ah, drop pouring out of the speakers absorbs all the sounds, but it isn't hissing, crackling, or howling. First it's monotonous, but the knocking still speeds off. Bells the engines like an old alarm clock, ruthlessly riding every morning. Eva seeps her head to driveway with an air of face, vision rubs her face with her palms. The knocking is still there. Eva knows what's making it. It's branches of the old hazel tree his father's been cut down for 2 years. Once it's again gotten its gnarled fingers caught in the windowsill. It scratches the window every time the wind blows. This, the true storm is raging outside. Rain lashes the window, covered in dirty spots. The hurricane-like wind gusting through hazel tree and a schoolboy singing out junior. Confused, Eva checks her bedroom. Everything looks as usual there. Table and the shelves are perfectly arranged, bed carefully made. Even the posters is held for hanging at strict times, if not. Eva loves it when everything is in place. Whenever his mother is overwhelmed at work, even her father is left responsible for cleaning the house. The less you live, the less you have to clean. Interesting. VHS collection. There's a light mystery in the first row. Behind it, there's slashers. The third row is aimed for Italian horror movies with the same word, giallo? Trying to see what that means. Let's see here. Huh? Let me see. No. Oops, that's not it. Why isn't this working? Give me a second here. See if maybe the mouse will do it. Yellow, huh? I'll have to look that up on my phone, man. Let's see here. Yellow. What is that? The genre that often contains slasher, thriller, psychological horror. Yes, psychological thriller, or less frequently supernatural horror elements. That's an Italian term. Huh. Beyond everything else in the Cinderella case, the creepy movie Necromancer is waiting for its time to shine. It doesn't look like her mom. It's bad if her mother doesn't know about it. Necrophilia, oh jeez. Yikes. To then see a flower. Looks like it sprang straight out of the page of a fairy tale. Fan gave it to her mother in an exhibition. It's been growing in a pot as they had made during an extra visit to the pottery website. Pot isn't the best, but these will never swap out for another. I wonder if that's a sign if there's a come, never swap it out. As if that means she's gonna die or something in this game. Hope not. But yeah, that's also there's that kind of thing there. I'm an avid gardener myself, and in fact, I have just planted my seeds for this year yesterday. Can't wait to see how they turn out. This is not working. Book Where the Wild. Nice. That was an awesome book indeed. Lars Sendak was indeed an awesome author, especially as being an American. I was aware of wild things on myself as a little kid. Feather, the parrot Sancho, lived for 6 years. His loss was unbearable, so Eva still had one of his feathers as a keepsake. First, he couldn't handle looking at it, so he burst in awe. Poor girl, she burst in tears every time she saw it. Here we go. A family photograph. It was taken the day Ewan had her first braces. Tommy was tiny back then. Their parents looked happy. Mother wasn't absorbed in our career yet. Back then, she cared about family more than cares and pains. His head shoots up as he hears quiet steps approaching. Tommy? Father standing by the door, stretching from one foot to the other and holding a thick cardboard cup with a string staked through the bottom. String lives on the floor and across the alleyway. His long sleeved shirt with a pink dinosaur was God's gift to him last Christmas. Since then, Tony takes it off only at bedtime for laundry. Lately, his brother looked a little confused as he was only wandering into his room by accident after getting lost in his own home. His big eyes hold strange expressions he can't quite explain or describe. No matter how much he talks to him, words are never enough. Even when there's all his most important questions answered, Tony just comes up with new ones. I fixed that red string telephone. Here, yesterday I barely hear anything. He would say his couple was honest. It's time to go to bed, baby. When you're all set, pull the string twice and it's a bedtime story for you. She ruffles his hair and he happily runs back into his bedroom. They often talk to each other before bedtime because Tony isn't used to falling asleep alone. She has to chat with him, weave magical stories, retell movies, and count plots until he's still snoring. The string slowly tightens and lifts up from the floor, which means Tony is already in bed and ready to listen. She hears familiar creaks and rustle from the outside. Can you hear me, Tony? Whoop. I don't care. I just fell asleep there by myself. Almost did. But then you just don't hear thunder and something cracked in the closet, so well, it doesn't seem to childish behavior, though he does still do his best to look pretty for Eva. Blaming him for his fears will be fools. Of course kids are scared when storms raging and thunders crashing right outside, especially if their room is dark and windowless. It's easier for Eva as the child she learned to befriend her fears. She often left a bowl of milk or a handful of candy out in case the monster was looking under her bed. Reminds me of a Chuck Norris fact. Godspeed to that great man, a true American. West of them, so let's speak his name because he served in the military. When the boogeyman goes to sleep, he checks under his bed for Chuck Norris. That's not my same old little buddy wrestling candy wrappers in the middle of the night. Tony's the same as her though, and she has to accept that. And close your eyes and listen. I made up a new story. Surrounded by routine, she wants to calm Tony down like she's used to wish her father's sweet dreams. She took his son for her mother in the kitchen so remember not to drink milk or coffee on an empty stomach. What's the story about? You're scary? I don't really want to hear scary stories today. No, it's a legend about a magical arcade machine that teleports brave and obedient kids into the world of its adventures. For some reason, the wind of thoughts and images racing through her mind, chooses an arcade machine. Rather, it chooses itself as if it were alive. It appears in her mind's eye in all its beauty, that black, oily luster into scarlet buttons. But she can't present Tony as is. Deeply wrapped in something brighter, lighter, more mysterious. Must be dangerous there. Monsters in games. It's an adventure. It wouldn't be an adventure without monsters. Without warning, someone appears in the door. String falls limp. Mother enters the room. Tired, disheveled, soaked in the odor of solvent, paints, and coffee. Perhaps he's worked too long and remembered she missed the only after distance lower back pain made it up. So his complaints about the tears, father. Didn't hear you come home. Why are you up so late? He glances at the cup rolling on the floor. Even Mother could scarcely understand what it chills you up to. What's all the late night sword thing for? Why can't Tony just go to bed and fall asleep? She's shocked every time the girl leaves her clothes. Even now, surprise lightens up her reddened eyes. Chatting with Tony again. He needs to fall asleep on his own. Tell him to brush his teeth and go to bed right now. This put the touch could use. Of course, Mom. Tony's almost asleep. Oh, today was so warm and cool. We cleaned up the chemistry room, went to the kitchen, and then I came back home. Interesting. She can't remember. I thought she was intentionally leaving that out. Eva stops abruptly. Something's missing. Something crucial. But she can't remember. Judging by her wandering gaze, Mother still isn't returned from the old images, scenes and episodes of all the people's lives, all caps on canvas. You know what? You're right. Tony will fall asleep without my chair tonight. Good night, Mom. Says he would smile in return, as if her mother's emotions had been drained out like water from a sad vase. Perhaps they settled on her canvases instead, leaving not a single drop from real life. Year after year, work has devoured her, turning into a completely different person. Good night, darling. I think we'll have a cup of milk. I'm going to bed too. I'm going to bed. I'm not here. Even knows her mother will go back to her workshop soon, so won't even fall asleep until dawn, completely exhausted next reason. Her mother closes the door behind her and picks up the cardboard phone, hangs it back on the hook. Her dad screwed into the wall specifically to hold it. The cup even hardly touches Eva's hands when she tightens again. Tell me going bad. Tom just came and spoke for Jenny. It promised me a story about an arcade scene. Eva suddenly feels so exhausted she can't fathom me and make up the simplest story. I have another yarn about the brave veggie kingdom she stuffed in his ears with his childhood to teach himself healthy food. Nice. I wonder if that's intended as a pun, another yarn, because like the string, and indeed that's often done with yarn. I did that as a little kid, the cups and the string. So she's inherited part of mother's fatigue, cause Eva's eyes water from justice, and her legs go weak. Eva doesn't want to accept Tony, but it is really late. It should have been better a long time ago. There's no better weather for curling up under a warm, cozy blanket. But Tony isn't about to let her go that fast. For him, it isn't just the rain and lightning outside. It's bloodthirsty creatures lurking beyond the walls. Only Eva's voice can keep their shadows from seeping in through the air vents of the cracks of the plastic. Don't worry, Roland. Come over to a purchase for tomorrow, I promise. Tony wants to protest, but the offer is too tempting. Sometimes he begs him to make a new story about shaved characters. He mostly listens. Tell the whole story is waiting for the next night. It feels like a fair trade for one night's peace. Besides, the thunder outside already stopped splitting the sky. Now all of the rain is rustling softly against the roof and grass outside. Okay. Sweet dreams. She puts the cup away. Her eyelids seem insanely heavy. The But strange thoughts still occupy her mind. Not even bothering to put on her pajamas, Eva collapses onto her bed and presses her cheek against the pillow. She really was long and hard. So much happened. The outburst in chemistry class, cleaning, walking along the river park with her friends, shopping square in the arcade center. But what was next? Blank space in the memory between the arcade center and coming back home. Fragments of phrases, merry, beeping music, flickering light, clearing dull, black and white haze. Lethargy evaporates. Eva rolls on her back and stares at the ceiling. Something else definitely happened. The memory keeps slipping away, getting lost. Something important happened at the arcade center. Clinging to her and her friends like a parasite, stubbornly pulling them into the darkness, engulfing Riverwood. Of course, the old town has been keeping the secrets for many generations. Ghosts of the ancient church Eva's grandmother told her about, the cursed coin, the bodies found in the foundation of the town hall. Those are just legends. No evidence of that has ever been found. She just needs to remember how she, Ashley, Brian, and Michael stopped into the arcade center, and then she is a silent wrestler next to her. Makes his jaws crawling along her nightstand. If he just manages to catch it before it falls, she quickly presses the cup to the lips. Tony, you're still awake? Sickening ear-splitting screech, no response. Steve could hardly suppress a scream. It sounds like the electric timer in the workshop attic. Mom set it up so that the jarring sound distracted her from her work after 3 hours. Mom said that other people living in the house that she spent time with. But why is that streak next to her baby brother? She just took the timer into his room. Eva hurries back into his room to check on him. But it's empty. Eva throws up her hands. Teddy Bear leaves his room at night. He always leaves a cup of water and milk to his nightstand so he won't have to go into the kitchen. He would have passed Ava's bedroom if he'd gone to the bathroom. Nothing else, he definitely would have heard his footsteps. It's only one other place when Tony and his mom's daughter's clock would be at the same time. It isn't something he normally does, but she can't think of a better explanation. What a silly boy. Why'd you go to the workshop? He should know better. What bad dreams do those in house paintings? Could influence even an adult's monster. Sadly, there's been always a nurse on standby at exhibitions. Raises tends the most impressionable visitors. The thought of what Tony might see horrifies Eva. She remembers how Ashley tossed and turned, unable to sleep after visiting the workshop during a sleepover. How she complained about nightmares afterwards. Her brother sees his paintings, she'll be up all night distracted from anxious thoughts. As for the next day, not even 2 stores will be enough. Tony? What's up with the radio silence? Eva doesn't like it when Mom scolds her, and she likes even less when it's one being scolded as Tony. Her brother's 110% going to be punished for going to Mom's workshop without permission. He creeps into the hall and peers around carefully. Only now that she knows that the string leads toward the attic entryway. It's hard to sit on the first try as if it's lying right in line with the baseboard. Eva timidly passes her parents' bedroom and hesitates by the stairs leading up to the same floor. Even then, a few of Mom's paintings, pleasant to look at in the dim light, hung on the walls. Eva is used to them, but Tony still rushes past those, sometimes seeing his eyes tight. Her father has been planning to take them down and move them somewhere else, but he doesn't want to upset his wife. He has no idea how to bring it up. So the image of the woman pressing their palms to her face is still scary, staring into the corridor with wet eyes. Black silhouette flits on the left side of the stairs. Tony, go downstairs while I'm still in the kitchen. I'm coming up, but if Mom catches us both, I'll get in trouble first. I'll be right back. You might do mad at you, Tony. No, you won't be getting ice cream this weekend. She smiles and walks up the stairs. It's really hard to stay angry at her little brother. All the stairs are slinkies of all colors. Tony's playing with them on the stairs, hissing them and saying them up like the contestants. Rabbit Mo sits up Teddy Bear named Pig and the shapeless stuffed owl he brought non fair. Whichever stinky wins the pen spends the night and turns best reward. Tony usually carefully cleans up himself after every night and puts the slinkies back in their signed boxes. Massey is left in that is completely inexplicable. Tony isn't on the stairs. Phone string is laced through the gap under the bed or the top. Eve switches the light on. A twisted light fixture flashes on, illuminating the workshop in the sun online. Inscription, keep out, nosy. Jeez. The words are written there with an extremely beautiful script. Mom's handwriting. A funny sketch of a three-headed dog guards the door. Nice. Cerberus, no doubt. Well, yeah, I should say no doubt inspired by, because I don't know for certain. I'm not going to presume to speak for others, but indeed, in the Greek legends, Greek myths, the Cerberus guarded the depths of Hades, the underworld. Yeah, okay, that's what I was right then. You paid that hellhound herself 2 years ago when she was into Greek mythology. Whoops. Yeah, yeah, exactly. Surprised it doesn't say about Cerberus, though. Maybe it will after that. Her mother was delighted that the dog liked her painting too, but she was less drawing. Oh, that's badass looking on the left side there. It opens with ease that even into a short narrow hallway. Mother was usually scolding kids for coming in without permission. Eve had a rare chance to see it, new and felt worse. But isn't kind of rule Eve was tempted to break. The older she gets, the less she cares about her mom's paintings. This is the frame's nightmares she wants to see, but the person who creates them. Paintings last a good pressure on everyone. Some enchanted, others frightening. Mom mostly paints people, or to be more precise, their emotions. Eve prefers paintings of fairies, magic, and fantasies, ordinary photographs. At least that kind of art doesn't make Eve wonder why an orphan who's just been taken in by a family is crying amid their adoptive mother's shared joy. Why the wife of an unlucky worker is sad when he wins a considerable sum in the lottery. Darkness thickens. It's dense and sticky, like sweet jelly. But every moment that passes, it feels more distinct on her skin, tangling in her hands, staying in the plastic patches. Light switches right next to the pavement, panting hunger. Seeming quiet, she reaches for the switch and thinks about touching the cold, sour skin of the dying girl in the picture. Meanwhile, a soft portrait of her mother looks more like a shriveled up corpse than herself. Rears back as if it's about to sink her loose teeth into Eva's fingers. God figures frantically choked by the darkness. Dad promised to fix the wiring a month ago, but so far he's only able to break a panel. That's cool. That reminds me of in Dread Weight. Getting my backs on Kickstarter, as did I with this, but the backing didn't go through, but we all were refunded, thankfully. And yeah, that's one of the puzzles in Dreadweight, a sequel to Cooking Companions. I'll put the links both in the description. Perfect timing. Everyone was allowed just to hear his so sad own voice. It should attract Tony's attention. Though brother isn't naughty, sometimes he hides and waits for someone to find him. Only ever in his room where he and the brother goes, what's up this thing? He begins to coil the string out of hand. Doctor's just all dumb prank your sleep cells game seals her from the darkest thoughts. Yet everything feels strange. Wrong. It's nothing like this you used to. Just wants to get the guy to end with a stupid cry boo from around the corner. Time must have pinned me or some old canvases that occurred. Nowhere else to hide, so be a part of a piece of cake. Doctor sees ships over one of the pins. Damn it! Overcome by her unease, Eva realizes he's angry. Tony, Dad, Mom, the house, that wretched workshop, he can't even take a single step without tripping over some nightmare. It's like the frames, the rolled out canvases, and the stools are all throwing themselves under their feet on purpose. Interesting. In the void, picks a broken woman who lost her baby in childbirth. The heartbroken mother sank to the floor. Damn. Such was especially successful exhibits. Geez. Also, Mother Eva gave her out to a personal show in Indianapolis. Apparently, that's why I've been seeing paint more and more. Sadness, pain, tragedy of an ordinary person resonate with most of the audience. Nameless, unfinished work. A happy woman is carrying a puppy wrapped in seeds. The old fisherman. It's a silhouette of an old man on a pier. If you look closely, you can see as in the fishing water across the water gear. Only a single knife. Water around the old man's feet, dispersing the lake as crimson hue. Fish have fed on his family for years. Maybe he's decided to return the favor. Suddenly, even realizes nothing wrong with paintings. The mother usually paints people's features and facial expressions in too detail to convey the most valuable aspects about emotions. Now the paintings are massive paint instead of faces, and rooms some spearmint wet palms. Tony, you better come out. This isn't funny. I thought I'd be punished, Mom. String coiled around to his hand legs. That's better. Now to see where it leads. Slowly paces toward the workshop, feeling pervasive blackness on skin. Nameless, unfinished, and spoiled paint stared at the corners. All hooks and sloping shelves like abandoned children. Somehow the disfigured faces are visible even in the gloom, as if Mom's added phosphorus to the paint. Seeing all this flickery silhouettes creeps Eva out. Fear crawls under her skin like hundreds of insects, bites into her bones with its icy teeth and sucks out the heat. Darkly poetic, I dig it. For a split second, a flash of lightning illuminates the room. Eva falls to the floor in shock. Whoa! What she sees defies any eyes of coordination. String vibrating with tension leads directly to a thick roughness clad, a gilded frame like a pool of dark water surrounding the door. The easel stands at the very center of the room, but even the sweat of blood wasn't there a moment ago. It feels like the unfinished pages of the shells are closing in, the paint fixtures patiently staring at. The string twitches and squirms their grip, becoming harder to hold with every second. Eva struggles to breathe. Fear floods her body, tightening around to lose sanguinary thoughts. She hasn't simply raised her eyes and looks deep into the inky black painting. Instantly, a wave of cold air washes over her. A spray of tide droplets in her face. Bitter, biting wind blows from the bottomless canvas. his gusts carrying icy drizzle. Painting absorbed the light cast from the window. Stares of horrors over him. The ill-fated string cuts into it. For a second, he attempts to get rid of it, chop it off with a knife. But as the threads elastic trajectory of Tony stares not approach the pain. Death bombards the sticky fear bottles her mind. Ignorance is bliss. She ran away from the workshop achievement unlocked. Interesting. The longer he stares into the picture's black, bubbling deepness, with a cup and strange string out like a fishing line with a hook at the end, the more it feels like a wicked trap. Words feel like nails being hammered into the darkness, each one betrayal. Terror still paw, burn her throat, tongue, and lips, but still she's eyes them. The fear, softened by common sense, is stronger than love for her brother. Together they're defenseless against the seeping madness through the workshop. Oh, get up, head, Sody! Stay quiet, don't you dare come out if you're honey in here! It's trembling, evil, and wants the string flows away, abandoning the phone. Now she knows her brother truly went to the workshop instead of hiding his room. He's an obedient boy, would never enter the workshop without Mom's permission. She shouldn't have either. She's just an older sister, a naive dreamer. Alex is this person capable of forcing such evil to retreat. She has no doubt this evil has overtaken root in the house. He steps back. She doesn't turn her back on the picture. After all, whether the Steve's kidnapper on the other side is waiting to pounce, sees her arm drag her in the way. From the corner of her eyes, she just glances the other pictures surround her. Being dragged into any of them would be an absolute nightmare. She's even less eager to guess what awaits on the other side of the black one. Perhaps her mother would create such a scene. Naive child getting trapped. She's been deceived. The evil exploited her greatest weakness, love for her baby brother, decided to protect him. Now she's face to face with unimaginable danger, shocked, weak, shivering with fear, like a butterfly trapped in its jaws, needle and label, prepared for it. Mom painted emotions like this, yet more famous fans. It's hopeless. I'm alive, not some nasty pain. I can leave this place wherever I want. Moving her vociferous character, her attention. The main character of the hero just moved. It's one of the few words moms have been criticized for. An old man in a washed out military uniform is confined to a wheelchair, bed full of feeded substances on the floor next to him. No one's there to clean it up. No one's there to give him a glass of water or wash his greasy skin. He's alone, depressed, sick. Sounds of his dead friends and slaughtered enemies roaming out the window. Rage, depression, and anxiety entwine him on no way out. The old man looks out the window. He remembers his predatory profile. But now the shapeless mess that was once his face is turned towards her. Her skin crawls under his stare. Like every other stare cutting through the darkness of the workshop. Pains and habits are watching her. Many are no longer what they were a minute ago. But what woke them? They realized they're missing the prey inside to reveal the true appearance. But those oil droppers from the black paint meal everything Bob created, discussing bruised life to them. The young and the old, men and women, already frozen in unimaginable positions, of losing their natural appearance. The arms grew longer, new joints contort their fingers, the legs blended in the wrong directions as if the locusts, their faces are contorted, unrecognizable. The crowd of ugly sass braced as if to pounce on her. You even can't make them all out. Only the veterans stuck in her head. That's what makes it scary. In a moment, they'll be unleashed their canvas crypts. Pain is transformed to blood, bones, flesh. Girl watches the workshop door with jams shut and the hand will budge. Sees a canvas burst beside her, his frame cracking audibly. Pegs and inhabitants have become set free. They'll make a sound, but from the periphery, Eva could see the revolting crowd of revived characters head toward her. They're in no rush. They know what Eva has to worry about. That was their home. Something crashes the door with a heavy clang, crunches and cracks the rest of the noises get closer and closer. The door surrenders and slams the door behind it. He rushes through and sets up behind her. Just for a moment, she feels safe in the nightmare bubbling up in the workshop, so it's been locked in another world, and the bolt bursts open behind her. A crooked shadow falls on the wall like a streak of black paint, and gradually begins to shape. It's even scarier than the one casting the shadow. The stairs at the end of the hall is deep enough to fall easily, smash your head. Eva reaches downstairs, heedless of how dangerous it is. The shadow follows her, inevitably. Suffocating stench overwhelms her. Dirty skin, unwashed clothes, sour urine, paint, black, solvent. It clogs her nose, stings her eyes, wipes away her tears, barely managing to make it safely down the stairs. She only stops when she reaches the hall. She can hardly catch her breath. That's how fast her heart is racing. Dad! Daddy! Scream sinks in the air as the house like a stone falling into a deep well. No echo, no response. Deep ripple. Only a deathly silence. Help me, Dad! Walls fell everywhere. Dad's sleeping too deep. Otherwise, he'd definitely hear me, Mom. She must feel asleep by the coffee pot. It clenched the fist off. There's no time for rescue anyone. Thought being embraced by the very arms of pain and all those hearts make her stomach churn. He suddenly realizes that nobody really knows what kind of pain paths of rare talent can tear down. It's no coincidence her mother and parents grew more and more disposable every year. But Eva looks out, still holds out the hope that it wasn't intentional. Mother loves her family, loves her children. Eva wants to believe that, but just still rang into the woman who started it all. Mom must be in the kitchen, otherwise I've already run into her in the workshop. I'll wake up first, then we can... Continuous squeak sounds in the stairs. Squeak of a huge gear that hasn't been oiled for a long time is covered with rusty crust. It's followed by a heavy knock. The old man is approaching from the workshop, clinging to the railing. The veteran is even ugly outside, painting the wax's flesh is melted and poured down his back, tethering him from the wheelchair to his wheelchair like a master snail. Drags his mutilated body downstairs. When goes to that monstrosity is enough to get exhausted pain or headache. He rushes his whole parents' bedroom, and then she trips over the threshold and all but smashes her nose. The pain of the hall hardly phases her, just as she did after watching horror movies and creepy cartoons as a child. She rushes through the dark hall to the parents' room. Nowhere is safer than their bed. Laughing, your father will close a pillow for which he cried from constant critters. Father works night and day, never forgets about his kids. Tries to be their friend, support them in everything, whether it's buying Eva, expensive camera, getting Tony and others think at his collection. Eva remembers the trips he took with her friends to a farm by the lake. Even the drive was an adventure when the dad was with them. He's the linchpin that holds the whole family. Steady, reliable, just like the things he crafts the workshop. Who can save them now, if not him? Dad's here! It's John! Let's get him ourselves and protect me! How it doesn't matter. She doesn't. She just wants to snuggle up to someone warm, close, alive. Someone without that otherworldly stench. Daddy, must be here somewhere. If Mom's still singing the catch, he's definitely catching these now because he's got to work up 5 a.m. Dad, where are you? Grabs the bed and pulls herself up. But The bed is empty. Above it, a big painting hangs on the wall. Made by Miles, specifically some weirdo from Sergio. He hadn't approved the way she depicted the Grace's relatives, so he refused to pay the full price. He even used to like that picture compared to Martha's work. So there's something wrong with it. The aristocrats sat at the sitting table, examining neither the undeemed bronze plate but the bed, as though the main course lies outside the confines of this world. Their eyes are hungry, probably imagining what would look like beautiful stuffed onions and wild garlic at the side of the table. Thought chills Eva's blood. If her dad were here, she'd definitely drag him in. They want to crackle. Servant hunting for a pair of brass rats suddenly twisted himself forward. His traits changed. His arms got longer, his shoulders wider, his mouth gaped open into a horrible size. It's leering Eva. The other guests there as well. Obviously, they don't care what is on their plate. They don't care about satisfying starvation's boredom. Shrieking, Ivy led back to the hallway. Luckily, the old man is still running down the stairs. Harry chair with him. Whew, look full first. That's gonna be the end of this chapter, ladies and gentlemen. If you keep this getting too long, so if you think what I'm doing, please consider subscribing. I'll sit back. Very well.